Just when you think the Vatican can't get any dumber or more pathetic, they go and surprise all of us and make a new ambiguous anime character the official mascot of the year 2025. I'm Kevin Davis. This is the Catholic Family Podcast, and well, oh boy, what we have today is I'm sure everyone's seen floating around the internet, and honestly, it's not too shocking because this type of thing seems to happen on a weekly basis from Vatican. Of course, I don't believe that to actually be the Catholic Church, thank goodness, because it's full of I don't know, evil lunatics. And here is just another example of that. So here you go. Here's the latest from the Vatican. They're unveiling their official mascot 2025. Catholic TV on X says the Vatican has unveiled the official mascot of the Holy Year 2025, Luce. What's the name? Italian for light. So sounds like Luce. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Archbishop Fischella says the mascot was inspired by the church's desire to, quote, to live even within the pop culture so beloved by our youth. There's the little silly character there. Yeah, I would assume it's female, I guess, with blue hair. Um, of course, again, typically ambiguous, blue hair, and with a staff that looks an awful lot like, a witch's sting. I don't know. You know how these guys are. It's always ambiguity. That's what they've done since the Second Vatican Council. That is practically what their religion is formed by is ambiguity, and they do it here. It's like, oh, come on, Luce. That's a nice Italian name. Well, those of us sitting over here like that. Yeah, but it also kind of is like shortened for Lucifer, right? No, no, how dare you think that? It's a nice little cartoon. Look at the staff. I mean, we're all kinda thinking like, "Yeah, it's kinda weird, man. How dare you think that? It's just a staff. It's a little girl staff, and she's a cartoon, and get your head out of the gutter. You're just a bunch of evil meanies." Yeah, but it looks kinda witchy. I mean, you can't make this stuff up, right? And they've done it again for 80 years. They've done it since 1961. That's what everything's based off of. What was the last thing that came out a couple weeks ago about how, all religions lead to God? You know, Bergoglio says something idiotic weekly, and let's not just say idiotic, he says something heretical on a weekly basis. Clearly not the Pope, clearly not the Catholic Church. And if you wanna go a little deeper, this is even almost crazier, I think. My wife, right before I came on the show, was telling me, you don't probably wanna just argue about, how the thing looks, even though it's anime, and most everyone knows that anime has pretty negative connotations in the Western world. I think everybody knows that, right? I mean, it's certainly not considered to be the most pure form of entertainment. Can I say that? I mean, I'm not saying it's all evil. I don't believe that. I think we've had this conversation with a priest before, and in itself, it's not evil. I do think it's eminent. I think there's a lot of things wrong with it. Maybe there are some good shows, fine. But the I guess the effeminate part of it being like the guys having avatars, their own little logos or whatever as anime characters. It's weird, and it's almost always immodest and immoral. So, why again? And, okay, that makes you question, okay, so I'm absolutely sure the Vatican went and they looked up a great artist, right? One of the best artists in the world, the modern Michelangelo, right? No, they found themselves Mr. Simone Legno, and as you see from his art presented on the page here, it's, very, very high level stuff, truly a master artist, delving into the deepest imagery of our time, truly a master. The skulls on the hat, very feminine hat, background, etcetera. I'm not even gonna guess, this guy's personal life, but weird, right? I mean, really, really weird. Can you imagine back in the day when the Vatican actually was home to the true pope and to the actual Catholic Church, which of course still exists, just not in the Vatican? Can you imagine them like, "Hey, let's find some artist who, you know, I don't want someone who paints wonderful church scenes. Give me someone who can paint little pathetic children's paintings. Bring me a children's artist, and he can become our official 2025 artist for our mascot." It's so weird. It's so pathetic. It's so typical of our time. And I think there's 2 ways you can look at this, is it evil? Is it dumb? I tend to think it's both. Not to get too far into politics, I think you see it right now in the US too. Politics are just dumb and evil, especially one side. Both, really. And I think that, you know, there's the saying that I'm sure many of you know is, "Sin makes you stupid." And look at the Vatican. Look at who's leading the Vatican. Look who they've hired to, yeah, again, run this project. And I didn't show you the pictures that I could have. I wouldn't do that. They're very immodest, and I didn't dive deep into them, obviously, for the sake of my own soul. But even if you just Google his name, it pops up with, you know, practically half naked painting. That's the guy that the Vatican has hired to make their logo. And it just, again, I think it's stupidity because I think it's not gonna work, and I think that that's had been happening for 60 years. The Vatican, the Novus Ordo Church has lost most of their members. That's factual. Don't have the numbers right here with me, but it's true. They don't have much money. They've closed churches all around the world. People don't go to mass anymore. They don't believe in anything really. So they failed, and but they still are evil. They still are evil. And we had a in our local diocese, I suppose, and it may have been Europe wide. I'm honestly not sure. There was a flag, and I'll have to get a picture of it. It's hard to even describe, but it was a flag that was supposed to be like these two sheep, but it's like, or maybe three sheep. I think it was a good shepherd with three sheep, but the two sheep on the ground, they looked like they were making offspring. Let's just say that. And it's again, it's the same ambiguous. Like, what am I looking at? Like, ugh, of course, if you said that, they'd be like, "No, it's not. How dare you say that? You're disgusting." But it's ambiguous. That's what they do. That's what they do. They're evil. Why would you make a little cartoon character? First of all, why would you hire this guy? He's a creep. Looks like a creep. I don't know the guy. I gotta be careful. I gotta be careful. I don't know him. Maybe he's a sweetheart. Maybe he's a really, really good guy, but, the cover of the book ain't great. And and then you go and make this character that's everything about it is ambit what, blue hair, anime, a little staff that looks like a witch's thing, a name called Luce, which, okay, maybe a nice name. Also, what come on, what do you immediately think of? Yeah, it means light or light bearer. Oh, yeah, Lucifer did too, actually, didn't it? You know, once upon a time, Lucifer, that wasn't a bad name because he was one of the high angels till he wasn't. It's insane. Totally insane, and it's pathetic, it's again, that's why men have mostly left the church because this is not what they want. It's not what kids want, it's not what anybody want. Maybe you have some pink-haired people still going to mass sorry, to the church who want this kinda stuff, but not likely. And there are some comments by Father Federico Palma, an actual priest on X, and he had some good comments on I just to follow him. He's a true priest based in Australia now, I believe. For those This is from Father Palma. For those who ask why are we pointing out to the Luce cartoon? This is the reason why. The Holy Catholic Church is not a cartoon, an anime thing, a Gay thing, a meme. Indeed, that puppet is profoundly symbolic of what the Novus Ordites have made of the structures of our Roman Catholic Church. We went from glory to this idiocy. Congratulations, Vatican officials. You made of the structures of the church the object of ridicule once again. When will this parody come to an end? Yeah, again, as you see here, you see it even doing the peace sign. What are we doing? Absolute insanity. Anyone who is watching this, please, please tell me if you think that could possibly be from the Catholic Church. Officially, it is. It's officially from the Catholic Church. Again, but not. Sorry, I'm confusing things. From the people who call themselves the Catholic Church. Can't. Can't. Just because they have the name, just because the man in Rome wears white and calls himself Pope doesn't mean he is. Those things can cease to exist if you force them to not exist. You know, if you commit heresies, if you speak heresies, if you teach heresies, if you clearly stray from the truths of the Catholic Church, which they prove day after day after day. Go follow people, please, on X, Father Palma. Go and research cmri.org, sgg.org, where true Catholicism still resides. You still have holiness, manliness, and the true faith of our fathers. It does exist. It is still here. You can leave this nonsense. Nonsense. Leave it. Not the Catholic Church. And Luce can go and burn where far too many people have gone to burn, thanks to the Novus Bogus Church, as our friend in Trebo would say. Come home to the true faith. Leave this nonsense. Leave this idiocy. If you have questions, contact me, Kevin89Davis at gmail.com. Till next